Our next reader was born in Guatemala but has lived in Chicago since the mid-'80s. He has shared several stories about driving for a ride-sharing company, which he used as material for his first solo show. Nestor told his first story at a Chicago Moth Slam as a way to finally get over his stuttering. Surprisingly, he won that night, and as of today, holds the record for most Chicago Story Slam wins. However, if you ask him, he will tell you that his biggest accomplishments are his kids, making his mother proud, and winning the heart of his fiancée, Sweet Mel. Find more about him later at NestorGomezStoryteller.com. And please welcome to Tuesday Funk right now, Nestor Gomez.
Thank you. So I was 15 years old when I came to Guatemala, from Guatemala to Chicago. And at that age, I had already finished high school way back in Guatemala. But when I came here, they told me that because of my age and because I couldn't speak any English, I had to take high school again. Now, at first, I was heartbroken. I was sad. But then I realized this is the first time in my life that I'm gonna go to school with people my own age. This is my chance to be cool. Maybe I could do something awesome like join a sport team, from the school. So on the first day of gym class, we were told that we were going to play football. Now, to me, football meant a round ball that you get to kick around and you score goals. I saw my teammates or the guys from the class that were on the middle of the field, but I couldn't understand what they were saying, so I just stepped back, way back, and I decided I'm gonna be goalie. So I saw the ball coming at me all of a sudden, and I caught the ball, and when I saw the ball, I realized we were not playing football. My idea of football that I was amazing at, we were playing American football, which I suck at. I was still standing looking at the ball when a bunch of guys just jumped on top of me and buried me underneath them. For the next couple of weeks, I pretended that I had an injury so I didn't have to play football anymore. When it got too cold to be playing football, the gym class was taken inside and became a swimming class. I'm going to make the swimming team, I told a friend of mine that spoke Spanish. Do you even know how to swim? He asked me. So I thought for a moment, and I remember my father was an excellent swimmer who could just do laps with no problem. My father could swim like a fish. It's on my genes, I told him. The teacher made an announcement. Those of you who know how to swim, get on the swimming pool and make a few laps. So I got on the swimming pool, and I started to move my legs and my arms as fast as I could, just flapping around. When I figured that I was about to hit the other side of the swimming pool, I suddenly felt a hand grabbing me and pulling me out of the water. It was the gym teacher. I had been flapping around on the same space without moving. He thought that I was drowning. And he was screaming at me to get out of the water. Does your mother know how to swim? My friend asked me as I joined him on the side of the pool. Maybe you got her genes. A few weeks after swim class, we were taken into the indoor gym for basketball class. Now, you could see, I'm short, and basketball is the worst sport for a short guy like me. Even worse, it was the Michael Jordan era. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. I just wanted to touch the damn ball. I've been running around the court back and forth with nobody passing me the ball. Suddenly one day, I got my chance when one of my teammates was blocked by this bully that was blocking everybody. I caught the ball, and at first I was going to pass the ball, but then I decided I had a better idea. So I started to bounce the ball, and I started to run in the direction of the basketball. Then I took 1, 2, 3 big steps, and I jumped, sticking my tongue out like a video. The bully jumped in front of me with a crazy smile on his face. But I wasn't planning to dunk the ball. Come on, I'm unrealistic. I know better. Instead, I lowered my hands and I threw the ball to the floor, bouncing it off the ground and off the floor to my teammate that was standing on the other side. He caught the ball and he jumped and he dunked it hard, landing on top of the bully. Damn! Dude! Ouch! Players from both teams were celebrating what we just had done. My teammate was hugging me and giving me high fives as if we had won the championship. The bully wasn't happy. He grabbed the ball and he threw it at me hard. But instead of moving, I saw the ball coming at me and I stood my ground. I stopped the ball with my chest, bounced it up in the air, and as I saw the ball coming down, I waited, and as it was about to hit the ground, I kicked it really hard in the direction of the bully. But basketballs are not meant to be kicked. And the ball went flying crazily and it almost hit the gym teacher on the face. Come with me, the gym teacher told me. And I followed him on the way to the principal's office. But we didn't stop at the principal's office. Instead, we stopped at another teacher's office. Talk to him so you can be on the football team, he told me. I remember my first day in class and I started to shake my head like, I don't want nothing to do with the football team. Soccer, the gym teacher told me. And I thought he was calling me a soccer, a dumbass, and I was about to walk out of the office when the other teacher grabbed a soccer ball and threw it at me. Soccer, that's what they call football in this country. I was really good at football and in soccer. And of course I wanted to join. I started to think, oh man, I'm gonna be the best scorer. I'm gonna score more goals than anybody. And I did make the team, but I didn't get to score a single goal because I played defense all year long. But my high school team made it all the way to the city championship for the first and last time in our high school history. Thank you. So, a couple of years ago, this is another story, okay? So don't get it confused. This is another story. A couple of years ago, I bought my first car, and it was a beat-up car that I paid like $500 for. It didn't have a radio. Well, it had a radio, but it had a cassette player that had a cassette stuck in there, so basically it didn't have a cassette radio. So one day I decided I'm gonna buy a radio and for this car, and he's gonna put it in there. So I go home and I told my wife, look what I got, a radio from my car. And she looks at the radio, she's like, how much you pay for it? I'm like, $300. Like, well, your radio is more expensive than your car. And then she asked me, why you didn't have it installed? I'm like, no, because they wanted another $100. I can do it myself. She looked at me and said, like, okay, let me know when you're done, good luck. So I walk out of the house and I walk to the car that I had parked outside the house. And I opened the car and I moved the chair all the way back and I threw myself on the floor and I figured, okay, this can't be that hard. I'm gonna take the old radio out and I'm gonna compare it to the new car, to the new radio, and it can't be that hard. And I have a manual, it's in English, in Spanish, and in Chinese, just in case. So I took out the old radio and I looked at all the cables. It was the green goes with the green, black goes with black, white goes with white. Even that stuff is racist. Can you believe it? So I was still down there looking at all the cables when suddenly there was a flashlight on the window and a police officer was knocking on my window. Hey, what are you doing down there? Hey. Suddenly I froze. Hey, what are you doing down there? It was my father shining a flashlight on what had been until now my hiding space underneath my bed. You see, when I was 10 years old, I was fascinated by my father's radio. This little bag that he moved a dial and the voices changed. I mean, I wanted to know how it worked, how the damn thing worked. So one day, after my father had told me millions of times not to touch his radio, he went out. So I grabbed his radio, of course, and I put it on top of my bed, and I grabbed a little screwdriver, and I opened the radio, and I started to break it apart and see how it worked. And I spent hours looking at it. All of a sudden, I heard my father's voice. And I tried to put the radio back together, but I couldn't. So I grabbed all the little pieces and all the parts, and I hid underneath the bed. Is that my radio you got down there? I'm gonna teach you not to mess with my things. My father said as he grabbed my leg and he pulled me out of the bed. He took out his belt and he started to whip me with the belt. What are you doing? You're going to kill him, my mother suddenly screamed at him, and she ran and she hugged me, and she got some of the bells from my father. Look what he did to my radio. My father told my mother, showing her the little pieces. Can you fix it? My mother asked me. I shook my head with tears in my eyes. No. I will fix this, my mother said to my father. My father walked away, and I saw my mother walking into her closet and taking a little shoebox that she kept hidden there where she had some money. She took all the money and she went to a neighbor that was selling a boombox, and she bought the boombox for my father. My father had a huge smile on his face when he saw that boombox, and I had a big smile on my face too, because, hey, nice boombox. And my father looked at me and said, hey, do not even think about it. Hey, hey, the policeman was still screaming at me. What are you doing down there? Is that your car? Is that your radio? Do you have the keys? Do you have the keys for the car? Turn on the engine to make sure that this is your car. I did as he told me. I started the car. He walked away, not very happy. And then he hit me. He wasn't thinking that I was installing. He thought that I was stealing a radio. A few moments later, I have finally put the radio in the car, the new radio in the car. I sat on the driver's seat and I turned on the car, and the radio started blasting with music. And my wife had told me to let her know when I was done with the radio. But at the moment, I didn't want to call my wife. At the moment, I wanted to call my mother and thank her for all the times that she protected me, for all the time that she did, all the things that she did for me. I wanted to call her and let her know that I have finally learned how to put a radio back together again. But more importantly, I wanted to call her and let her know how much I love her. Thank you.